always tough to tell right after the game. No more on Tuesday.
It looked like your hand, like you were kind of favoring your hand early on. What happened there early?
Favoring my hand.
Like you were kind of, I don't know, you got hit early on?
No, I got cleated on the first play of the game on my right leg, so I had a little gash on that. But other than that, it's all good.
You talk about how you might feel on Tuesday. You talking about just general soreness, or is there a certain part of your body that's kind of hurting maybe a little more, like you had to deal with throughout the course of the game?
You know, the only one right now is the leg that I got cleated on. Other than that, I feel good. You know, things pop up a couple days after the game that you don't really know about right now.
Put 38 points on the board against that defense, but you know, obviously it's not enough for whatever reason. I mean, but how do you feel about doing that to that defensive football team?
Not enough to win. Not enough to win. We some good, some bad, just like every week, but not enough to win.
Why do you think, Joe, you guys have not played complimentary football at all year?
You know, we just haven't executed the way we needed to. Yeah.
Do you think it's something different every week, or do you see a common denominator?
Something different every week. Little things here and there.
You still have faith in the defense at this point?
I do. Yeah, I know the work those guys put in. You know, they work really hard all week to go and put their best foot forward. You know, there's been some tough games, but there's been some good ones too.
Is that the most frustrating thing maybe about this season, obviously outside of the losing, is that it is something different every week? It's not one thing you could pinpoint?
I think every game is its own challenge, and each week has been frustrating in its own way.
What was most disappointing about this week, Joe?
You know, on offense, we had a couple false starts. You know, I had 2 fumbles. Pick Cam Hayward made a great play. He's a great player. Nothing I would have done differently on that one. You know, obviously we got to take care of the ball better. It starts with me. Yeah, some good and some bad.
Have you felt natural pressure to create and maybe extend plays, knowing every point you're going to need in a season like this one?
Yeah, I would say that. You know, I've been really happy with my playmaking ability this year. You know, it's not. You know, every game is its own challenge, and you know, quickly change your mindset into playmaking mode. When, you know, maybe you would take a check down or throw it to the running back quickly in some spots, but you know, that's not where we're at.
And
You have a better year throwing off platform than you have in this year. I mean, the throws you're making off platform are unbelievable. Have you ever been in a better streak than this?
No, I'm feeling good in that department. You know, I work it hard every week. Thursday's my day to, you know, throw on the run. You know, Thursday's a big work day for me, and that's where I feel like I get the most done. And I think I've taken a big step in that department this year.
On the strip sacks, do you feel like, going back to what I asked you earlier, do you feel like you maybe held on to the ball, it was real playmaking mode on both those plays essentially? Is that an example of maybe one you would have gotten out a little bit quicker, had there been different situations?
You know, the first one I would say I probably held on to it a little long. I could have found the tight end early. Especially at that point in the game. You know, the second one, you know, I felt like I was getting the ball out pretty quickly on that one. And, you know, that guy made a good play.
You talk about pressure on the game. How much also just kind of cumulative pressure over the course of the season? And you feeling that maybe over the course of the game, and that just kind of goes up over time? Is that
Yeah, I feel it. You know, I feel the pressure on me to be great. You know, that's part of playing quarterback in the NFL. You know, I have to play to the absolute peak of my ability every week for us to go and win. And you know, some games I've done that, some games I haven't. And so, you know, I'm just trying to be as consistent as I can from the team, try to take care of the ball better, and go from there.
Is that sustainable though? I mean, for you to basically have to play perfect each week in this division, do you feel like that's a sustainable way to play football?
I feel like I can do anything.
Did they adjust after Chase had the big series, 3 runs, you get a touchdown? Did they do anything after that to take anything away, or was it pretty much business as usual?
They started playing more single high, I would say. It's tough to say without watching the tape. You know, it's a good defense. They have really good players. They're going to make plays. And they play their scheme to their strengths, and they know the strengths of their players, and their strength is up front. So they try to make it tough on you to get it out quickly and try to make you hold on to it and let those guys get after you.
After a loss like this, what would your message be to the locker room, to your team?
Just try to get better. You know, whatever you put on tape is out there forever. Whether it's effort or execution or playmaking ability. You know, when GMs and scouts go and look at the tape in the off season, when they're looking to go and get guys, they're not going to care what the score is. They're going to care how hard you play. They're going to care how you execute and how many plays you make. And so, for me, I'm just going to keep trying to be as consistent as I can and try to put us in good spots.
You said you didn't want to go big picture mode yet, and want to wait maybe a couple more games at the time now, and maybe look at how y'all look, moving forward to see kind of what fits best long term, and kind of where y'all need to evaluate where y'all can be better at moving forward after the season.
You know, I'm just going to keep plugging along day to day. Keep trying to get better. There's still a lot of reps to improve your game and put great stuff on tape. That's what I'm focused on. Keep trying to make plays, get the ball to my guys in space and let them go make plays. Keep trying to do that.
Did you think the fourth down was a turning point when it looked like they were in the neutral zone?
They were. That was a disappointing call. You know, I got a lot of respect for that crew, but they missed that one.
I mean, how much does that impact the game? I mean, you're going in to maybe take the lead at that.
Yeah, it was a big play in the game. There was about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, 50 seconds left about that point, and that's first down for us. And you know, maybe we go get points, maybe we don't, but you know, then they get the ball and they go get 3, and you know, I don't think they do that if the call is correct in that situation. You know, a lot more went wrong than that, but that was a big call in the game.
Are you conceding the reality that you're probably not going to make the playoffs at this point?
Playoffs, I mean, furthest thing from my mind. You know, you never know what can happen. So, like I said, I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other, try to be the best player that I can be for the rest of this season, and week in and week out, day in and day out, trying to be the best that I can be.
When you look at your record against AFC North teams last year and this year, it's not great. Do you feel like when you look at the way you guys are structured as a team and the way you play, that you might need to change some things to be able to win more in your division?
I would say we need to change a lot of things this year. We haven't been good enough. To win games. So it starts with your division. You always want to win those, and we haven't. So we got to do a better job.
Going back to that 4th down, was there a play called, or was that a dummy play to get them to jump?
I'll die with that one. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, you talk about there's got to be a lot of stuff that's got to change. How do you go about, as being the franchise quarterback, guy who's long-term here now, go about kind of being involved in those conversations about, hey, this is what I felt like we missed, this is what needs to be better moving forward so we can be a championship team again. When do you start that process, and how do you go about that process as a quarterback?
Yeah, you try to give your opinion in ways that you feel comes over the best. You know, this is a tough season, and you know, the cornerstones of this organization are going to be remembered by more than just this season, and we will be remembered by how we handled this. And you know, it's still an exciting opportunity to go out and play for this city and for this team every week, week in and week out. And that's something that I don't take for granted, especially with my injury history. You know, I've been on the sidelines, and that's not a fun feeling. So I love being out there for the guys, for the city, for the team, for ownership, and you know, I love playing.
Is that kind of what you want to learn about the guys in the locker room now, about kind of how they respond, how this year's gone, and what they're made of over the next 5 games?
Yeah, I think we'll learn a lot about who we have in the locker room, the guys that we can count on going forward, the guys that we can't, and you know, I think the next 6 weeks, 5 weeks are going to say a lot about who we can count on and who we can't.
Speaking of that, a guy that looking to be able to count on, spread the field with the receivers you have, what Chase Brown's giving you in the running game, how big is that?
Yeah, he's really coming along. He's improving his game every single week. Pass game, running hard, understanding his protection responsibilities. And he's a guy that practices hard, plays hard, and a guy you can count on.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.